They might win this game. Oh my God. Caitlin Clark was just cleared to play. I'm shocked. Is it shocked?
What happens when a single player isn't just a star, but the entire solar system around which a league revolves? And what happens when that solar system suddenly blinks out?
Breaking news, breaking news. Caitlin Clark is back, guys. The reality's back. Caitlin Clark, Ponytail Pete. She's back. She's back. Thank the Lord. Now the ratings are up. I bet you Kathy Engelbert's like, please, Caitlin, for the love of God, can you please come back? This league sucks without you. She probably made so many phone calls, emails, tweets, probably even sent a telegram to come back. You know what? I'm happy she's back, yo.
The answer, as the WNBA recently discovered, is a chilling silence and a whole lot of panic. Caitlin Clark's brief absence wasn't just a blip, it was a seismic event that exposed the fragile foundations of an entire enterprise.
WNBA television ratings down more than 50%. We should probably do a study on that. I'm not sure why that would be. Oh, wait. Since Caitlin Clark's injury, ladies of the WNBA, she is the rising tide. She is essentially the sun at the beach. If she's not out, nobody else is. She equals ratings, revenue, and relevance, and those three things the WNBA is dying for.
Her return isn't just about one player lacing up her sneakers again, it's about the uncomfortable truths and power dynamics she drags back onto the court with her.
How's practice been like for her, and kind of what's her status for tomorrow?
It's been good. You know, I think she's working her way back, and you know, I felt like today was better than yesterday in terms of just you know, movement and balance and feeling like she's getting back into rhythm, timing, all of those things. And you know, as long as we don't have any progression, she's gonna be ready.
The numbers don't just whisper, they scream. When Caitlin Clark stepped off the court with that quad injury, the Indiana Fever's viewership didn't just dip, it nosedived a staggering 53%.
Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA will be in poverty. Caitlin Clark coming back to the WNBA, it will hit harder than snow in the 80s. It amazes me when y'all see the stats above, around 98% of viewers that are going to come back and watch the WNBA. Why? It's because the best player in the world, the best player of women basketball is...
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. The WNBA without Clark isn't just a basketball league.
Games that were pulling in nearly 2 million pairs of eyes suddenly struggled to find 850,000. It was like half the audience simply vanished overnight.
It's time to get over the angst. Like, she's changed the league. She doesn't show up. It's like the sun going behind a cloud at the beach. It's not the same.
Ticket prices, once soaring into the hundreds, even thousands for premium seats, collapsed faster than a badly built Jenga tower. That much-hyped Chicago Sky matchup, which had fans shelling out over $200, saw prices plummet to under $100, and still, arenas looked depressingly sparse. The Clark effect, it turns out, wasn't just hype, it was the league's economic lifeline. But the financial bleeding was just one symptom of a much deeper unease rippling through the league.
Caitlin Clark has been officially cleared to play. 45 minutes ago on the X account for the Indiana Fever, they have announced she will be on roster and will play against Liberty. She's healthy, she's at full strength. The GOAT returns. You know what that means? It's time for everybody to start watching WNBA again. The ratings dropped by 55% while Caitlin Clark was out. I'm not shocked. You're not shocked. But apparently the WNBA Illuminati continues to stay shocked because they just don't understand. If she's healthy, this league...
The panic isn't just about one player making her comeback. It reveals a deeper vulnerability in the league's entire marketing foundation.
Behind the official statements and brave faces, a different story was unfolding. While arenas echoed with an unfamiliar quiet, whispers of full-blown panic began to circulate.
World, we have not seen a woman that played basketball the way that she does. She revolutionizing the game before our very own eyes. To be honest, is anyone watching Angel Wilson? Angel Reese? The reason why most of these fans are watching the WNBA is because of Caitlin.
Let's cut through the fiction about Clark's absence. The league tried to prove it could succeed without her, but it fell flat.
Players who had spent the early part of the season openly mocking Clark, racking up flagrant fouls against the rookie like twisted badges of honor, suddenly found themselves playing to half-empty stadiums. The tough talk seemed to quiet down considerably when their own relevance was on the line.
Ball. You see the god Caitlin Clark has been hearing all the disrespect from the Black Clan and Black Clan panders. Indiana Fever this, Indiana Fever that, Great White Hope this, she turns the ball over that. But guess what? The god Caitlin Clark doesn't give 3 drops of hippopotamus urine about what any of you punk ass jabronis have to see. You see when Caitlin Clark is on the floor, assists get thrown. When Caitlin Clark is on the floor, the offense flows better. When Caitlin Clark is on the court, man, logo threes get bombed because she actually takes the game of basketball serious. She ain't out there bricking layups and shooting 30%. She ain't out by the poolside drinking alcohol with a $3 Party City wig on, because the god Caitlin Clark actually takes basketball serious. She eats basketballs for breakfast.
The very league that sometimes seemed resistant to her meteoric rise was now reportedly making desperate calls, sending emails, maybe even considering carrier pigeons to get an update on her return. The irony was palpable. The same phenom some tried to diminish was now the one they desperately needed. This wasn't just about hurt feelings or professional pride. It was about the very lifeblood of their careers.
As you can imagine, a lot of people are fired up. Yeah, right there. Yeah, we're ready to go. Thank you. The demon's home. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah, a lot of rejoicing here in this post. The baby goat is back. Let's effing.
One player's quad muscle held more economic sway than entire marketing departments. Forget modest gains. Caitlin Clark's presence is an economic earthquake.
Him back, because the New York Liberty, not only are they a good team, they're a smart team. Not only is Natasha Cloud a good defender, she's a smart player as well. You thought Caitlin Clark got roughed up the first time we saw the New York Liberty. Natasha Cloud's probably dripping from all of the drool, salivating at the moment to get her hands on.
Sports economist Ryan Brewer projected her impact could reach a mind-blowing $1 billion this season alone. That's not just ticket sales. It's merchandise flying off shelves, tourism boosts in host cities, lucrative television deals, and a cultural influence that's almost immeasurable.
Really a bad thing, because if she rushes back too soon and then injures herself even worse, then the WNBA is really fucked. And they know that. So they're giving her as much time as she needs to be 100%, because make no mistake, they need her in the playoffs and they need her on the court for as long.
While Clark commanded figures like $670 for a chance to see her play and sold out 15,000-seat arenas, other matchups, even featuring established stars, struggled. The Washington Mystics even moved a game to a larger venue in Baltimore anticipating a Clark appearance, only to see ticket prices crater from over $140 to just $41 when she was ruled out. It became painfully clear that social media followers don't automatically translate into ticket sales or packed stadiums. And now, that colossal shadow was poised to return directly into the path of an unstoppable force.
Yeah, I think it's just like having the mindset of, I don't need to make up for lost time. Just being patient and getting back into the flow of things, getting back into the flow of playing with my team. We changed a little bit of what we did on offense when I was out, just certain actions that we had to be more intentional in, just because, we didn't play out pick and roll as much. That's what I like to do. And, some of my teammates, that's not their best strength. They have other strengths, so playing to those strengths more. So just getting back into the flow of doing some of those types of things. But yeah, I think just getting out there and just continuing to build my chemistry with my teammates and playing fast, playing up tempo, I think that's going to be the best for us.
Playing fast, playing up tempo, I think that's going to be the best for us.
The script couldn't have been written more dramatically. The league's savior, fresh off injury, stepping onto the court against the WNBA's perfect storm, the undefeated New York Liberty. At 9 wins and 0 losses, the Liberty weren't just winning, they were dominating, with an average victory margin of nearly 20 points. This wasn't just another game, it was a cultural moment, a litmus test. ESPN and ABC, who had noticeably cooled their coverage of Fever games during Clark's absence, were suddenly buzzing again, anticipating the ratings surge. All eyes were on how the Liberty, and specifically a defender like Natasha Cloud, would handle the return of the league's biggest draw. The pressure was immense, not just on Clark to perform, but on the Liberty to maintain their flawless record against a re-energized Fever. But this single game was a flashpoint for a much larger, uncomfortable truth the league had been trying to ignore. For those who questioned her, mocked her, or fouled her with questionable intent, her return wasn't just a comeback, it was a reckoning. When the league's most valuable asset went down, the carefully constructed illusion of league parity shattered. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert could proudly call Clark the most popular athlete in America, but that popularity came with a terrifying dependency. Every grimace, every hard fall Clark took sent shivers down the spines of league executives. Her absence laid bare just how reliant the WNBA had become on this one electrifying rookie. Other players saw it too. They witnessed the stark difference between the 17,000 screaming fans Clark drew and the 3,000 polite spectators at their own games. They knew her return meant packed arenas again, but also a stark reminder that many of those fans weren't there for them. They were there for her. This revelation wasn't just an observation, it was a psychological weapon. Imagine being a seasoned pro, an Olympian, a champion, only to watch a rookie completely rewrite the narrative of your league. Before her injury, Clark was putting up staggering numbers. Nearly 20 points, over 9 assists, and 6 rebounds per game. Now, she was returning, rested, potentially with a score to settle, not just on the scoreboard, but in the subtle psychological games played out on the court. Players who struggled to handle her initial rookie success now faced the prospect of a Clark who was no longer just a talented newcomer, but a seasoned superstar, hungrier and more determined than ever. The mental toll of competing in her shadow, of constantly being compared and found wanting, was beginning to show. And as the spotlight intensified, it wasn't just individual players feeling the heat, but the entire narrative of women's basketball. Social media likes don't fill 17,000-seat arenas, but one rookie's presence does. The WNBA, like many sports leagues, has seen its share of manufactured drama and social media beefs designed to drum up interest. Yet, Clark's appeal is different. It's organic, almost primal. She doesn't need to engage in online spats to sell tickets. Her no-look passes and logo threes do the talking. The rising tide that was supposed to lift all boats, as some had hoped, instead seemed to be a tidal wave that only Clark knew how to surf. Her absence proved that Instagram engagement doesn't equate to bums in seats or eyeballs on screens. Her return is forcing a reevaluation. Is the future of the league built on carefully curated social media narratives or on the raw, undeniable talent and magnetism of a generational player? So as the queen reclaims her court, the aftershocks are only just beginning.